Afternoon peeps, good afternoon everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget, next week we're going to give away £1,000. I'm going to let you guys know on Monday how you can win that money, how you can enter. The last competition I did, I gave away 3 pairs of trainers, but I gave it to one person. What we're going to do this time is split this money up a little bit. So we're going to do 500 for the winner, and then second and third are going to get 250 each. So it gives people more opportunities to win. It's one question as well. Someone gave me a great idea for a question. You guys are going to know what that question is on Monday. I'm going to leave the competition to run until Friday, and then Friday evening I'm going to send out that money. So whether it be by bank transfer, PayPal, Cash App, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, you're going to get that money on Friday evening. Good luck to you all. Again, it's just a small thank you for helping me get to 50,000 subscribers. We're actually at 51 now, which is crazy. This is going so quick. So we're going to get to 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100 very, very soon. But again, competition will be on Monday. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Let's start with this one. Jamel Charlo says Canelo's best career win came versus Sergey Kovalev. No, not for me. I get it. It made Canelo a champion at 175 pounds. But I remember sort of going into that fight, and I don't want to take anything away from Canelo, but I remember Kovalev fought Anthony Yarde 3 months, I want to say, before that fight. And Yarde was that close in getting Kovalev out of there. That close. So Kovalev went through that kind of fight, probably had 4 or 5 weeks rest and went into a camp for Canelo. Kovalev was already washed for me. And again, not taking anything away from that Canelo performance. I think the best Canelo win, although it was controversial, I thought the second Golovkin fight was just sensational. And look, I still think Golovkin might have done enough to eke out a victory, maybe even a draw. But I think because the record books say it was a win, I'm going to give it to him as a win. And I thought that was a very good win. I thought Lara, again, another close fight, but I thought that was a good win. Bear in mind, Canelo had come off the Floyd loss, had taken a fight against Angulo, then went straight into the Lara fight. Lara at the time, very, very good. I think Lara at the time might have been a pound-for-pound fighter. But it's a good question. What is Canelo's best career win? I mean, Danny Jacobs is a good win as well. I thought going into Billy Joe Saunders fight, a lot of people, especially over here, were hyping Billy Joe Saunders, and he just broke him. It's a good question, though. What is Canelo's best career win? I'm going to say the Golovkin 2. I'm going to say Golovkin 2, but not sure. It's a good question. Fury on Ngannou. They've always got a puncher's chance. They're big men, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, that's what Ngannou has, a puncher's chance. And even that is slim. Guys have got to understand, like, as much as Ngannou looks the part, he just isn't a boxer. He hasn't boxed before. I was speaking to someone the other day whose name will remain nameless, if that makes any sense. And they were talking about the Joe Joyce spar. I know it was a while ago, but they just said, like, dude, I mean, it was bad. Like Ngannou just couldn't land a glove on Joe Joyce. And bear in mind, Joe Joyce, I mean, he gets hit, right? People hit Joe Joyce, and Ngannou just couldn't land a glove on him. So like, I don't know how he expects to land a glove on Fury. What I will say though is Fury isn't the same Fury that fought Klitschko, isn't the same Fury that even fought Wilder the first time round. Like, this Fury doesn't move as much. This Fury now does seem to stand in the pocket. And that could just be a case of he's really heavy. Like, seeing Fury with his top off. I mean, I get it. He was like, look at me. Look at, you're going to lose to this fatty guy. I mean, stay in shape, man. Like, geez, it's bad how out of shape he is. Well, physically anyway. But yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to see Fury get down to a really good weight. Because again, his legs are slim. His arms are slim. Like, Fury really, I know he's tall, but he really should be able to make 17 stone. He should be able to make it like a fit, healthy, firing 17 stone. And if he were to make that 17 and a half stone, he's going to be unbeatable. He's unbeatable now, but he'd be unbeatable because he'd be so much more elusive. He's just so big now that he's slowed down. He's slowed down a bit, which is a shame. What we got here? Talking about Lara. Lara expects to fight Danny Garcia next, confident of victory. Next. Eddie Hearn on Joshua Wilder. Terms agreed, but until we receive a contract, the fight is not happening. What is going on? What is going on? I'm baffled by this. We've heard so much, which just mixed information. Like the other week, Deontay Wilder was doing an interview with Eddie Sekbak, and he's like, yeah, like pretty much saying it's done, didn't he? Kind of alluded to the fact that, you know, having conversations, and he didn't even speak about a 1-fight deal. He spoke about a 2-fight deal. He said one in Saudi and one in Africa. Eddie Hearn, for the past month, has always been saying, you know, next couple of days, next week. What is going on? And you've only got to go back to after AJ beat Franklin. After AJ beat Franklin, he put on his social media that he's going to be out of the ring now until December because he didn't mention Wilder, but we all, you know, thought it was Wilder. Like, this is a joke. And you know, really annoys me about all this Joshua Wilder thing is the over-reliance on Saudi. Why can't are you trying to tell me that if Saudi don't give this the green tick and pour the money into it, this fight can't happen? That this fight doesn't generate enough money wherever it is on planet Earth to pay both fighters nice without Saudi's involvement? Like, why are we relying on the Saudis to put this fight together? Like, before the Saudis even entered this boxing world full time, weren't there talks about AJ Wilder and weren't we hearing big money? Like, now all of a sudden, it's like it can't happen unless the Saudis are involved. I've been to America recently and I've seen big fights happen without any Saudi involvement. AJ Wilder's a big fight. Is it as big as Spence Crawford? Financially, I don't know. Is it as big as Tank Garcia? No, it's not as big as that one. But it's big. Like, I'm so convinced. Like, surely it's a case of Eddie speaking to the Saudis. Like, you know, like, any interest? No? All right, you know what? No stress. We'll do it over here and hopefully we can work again in the future. Do it over here. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Wembley Stadium. AJ versus Wilder. I'm convinced does over 1 million pay-per-view buys. I'm convinced of it. In fact, I know it does. I can guarantee you it does. And then it sells at the stadium. You bump the ticket prices up a little bit. Maybe you've even put the pay-per-view price up a little bit. Everyone gets paid. Everyone gets paid. You sell the rights to whoever in the world. I'm not a businessman. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes in boxing. But don't tell me AJ Wilder cannot happen and make money in this country. For fuck's sake, man. Fucking hell. Like, the heavyweight division's a joke, innit? It really is a joke. It's a joke. Like, Usyk Fury, it seemed to all stem or come down to the fact that one was being a bit too greedy or something anyway. And again, over-reliance on the Saudis. Like, I get it. They're chucking big money. And once you see those figures, it's like, whoa. You know, like, I don't know what kind of money, but let's just, for sake of an argument, let's just say they said to AJ, you know, we're going to pay you 60 million, which is a hell of a lot of money. Unfortunately, if the Saudis are not involved, maybe you might have to step back and come over to the UK and get paid 20. Still a huge amount of money. Still a huge amount of money. Fucking hell. Honestly, fucking hell. It's bullshit, innit? It's a joke. Heavyweight division's a joke. Really is. So we don't get Usyk Fury. We don't get AJ Wilder. What a joke. Think about that. Every other division is trying to give us some stuff. Every other division. But the heavyweight division, it's almost like the guys are too greedy. They're all multi-millionaires. It's like they're too greedy. I don't get it. Honestly, I'd love to know, like, the terms are great. I'd love to know what these terms are. Like, what is it? Because again, I'm going to repeat this. Big fights, and I don't know if there's Saudi involvement in these fights. I don't know if there's money under the table. I don't know. But big fights seem to be happening in America without the Saudi involvement. They're not over-reliant on the Saudis to make the big fights. Again, we've just seen it. We've seen Tank Garcia. We've seen Spence Crawford. But I mean, fuck me, we even saw Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. That done very, very well on pay-per-view. Like, why can't AJ Wilder happen in the UK without Saudi involvement? Why? It's a joke. Honestly, it's a joke. Like, you promote it well. You do press conferences in LA. You do press conferences in London. You do one press conference. Fuck it. Go Africa. You push it. You really spend money pushing it. You get them to do everything, like tick every single box. That fight does 1 million pay-per-view buys. Everyone gets paid. Everyone goes home happy. But no, if it doesn't happen, AJ fights in December. Against who? Against who? Jesus Christ, man. Joke. What a joke. Like, I feel like we've been promised this fight for like 5 years. 5 years. And by luck, there's still some interest. By luck. It is by luck. Trust me, because AJ's been beat, Wilder's been beat, and when we really wanted it, they were both unbeaten champions. That's when we really wanted it. It would have been undisputed, by the way, as well. I think people forget that. But this was after AJ beat Parker, and I think had all the belts. Stand to be corrected, but I think that's the case. And by luck, it's still some sort of interest, and we're just pissing this interest away. Pissing it away. Clarissa Shields believes Crawford beats Spence again, expects a more competitive fight. Yeah, kind of along those. I'm still angry about AJ Wilder. I'm trying to move on. I'm like trying to Spence Crawford, but AJ Wilder things annoy me. Just because I've wanted this fight for so long. And it isn't like Spence Crawford. Spence Crawford was a bit different because both of those guys are pound for pounders. Both of those guys are unbeaten. So it always felt like it still could happen. Well, I thought we've lost Wilder AJ so many times. When AJ got beat by Ruiz, it's done, it's dead. I was like that. I threw my mic, I was like, fuck it, it's done. Yeah. And then when Wilder got beat by Fury, fuck it, it's done. Then when AJ got bashed up, Usyk, I kept on doing that. And then for some odd reason, it's still there. It's still there. But it needs to fucking happen now because Wilder's 38 and AJ's no spring chicken. What was I saying? Clarissa Shields believes Crawford can beats Spence again, expects more competitive fight. Yeah, whatever, probably. Otto, this is a good heavyweight fight, this one. Otto Volin Murat Gassiev finalized for September the 30th in Turkey. What an interesting fight that is. What an interesting fight. I like that a lot. That could be a fantastic heavyweight fight. Gassiev has done nothing. Let me see Gassiev's box rank. I'm going to say Gassiev has had 2 fights since the Usyk fight. Only still 29. Looks about 50. I'm going to say 2 fights. Since the Usyk fight, he's had a few. We don't count those ones, actually. Nurit Safiri. Remember Tyson Fury fought his brother, Sefa Safiri. Who's his last fight? Mike Balogun, who was unbeaten at the time. Stopped him in what round? I don't know what round that was. Okay, so he's had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights since the Usyk fight. Let's see. I like him a lot. I think it'll be an interesting addition to the heavyweight ranks. Again, he's a very, very big, or was a very big cruiserweight. So let's see what he can do. Usyk destroyed him, didn't he? Destroyed him. Like one-sided beatdown. All right, anyway, look, that's it. I'm done. I'm upset about this. Oh, by the way, Joe Joyce looks massive, by the way. I saw him the other day. He was at the Fury and Ngannou presser thing. He's put on his size again. Like, before I thought he was trying to get a bit lean. Now he's back to juggernaut, big Joe Joyce. And I'm hearing that he's bashing up some names in sparring. Like, some good names in sparring. So anyway, look, we'll see. Peace and love.